Just beyond the noise and congestion of New York City, the landscape begins to change. Busy highways lead to quiet villages. Buildings give way to farmland, coastal scenery, enormous private estates, and roads shaded by old trees. Today, we're driving through one of America's most famous coastal destinations, the Hamptons. But what does this legendary place actually look like from the road? Let's find out. Welcome to WANDERLANE Travel. For today's journey, we're beginning in Southampton and traveling east through Watermill, Bridgeampton, Wainscott, East Hampton, Amagansett, and the beautiful open landscape leading toward Montauk. There are no velvet ropes on this drive and no private invitations required. We're simply following the public road and discovering the Hamptons the way most visitors first experience them, from behind the wheel. The Hamptons are not one single town. The name describes a collection of villages and communities located along the South Fork of Long Island. Each one has its own atmosphere, but together they create a fascinating mixture of historic charm, coastal living, working farmland, understated wealth, and carefully protected privacy. Our drive begins in Southampton, one of the best-known communities in the Hamptons. Southampton was settled in 1640, giving this fashionable destination a history that reaches back almost 4 centuries. At first glance, the village feels surprisingly traditional. The streets are lined with mature trees, white storefronts, historic buildings, manicured gardens, and beautifully maintained homes. This doesn't feel like a modern resort created overnight. Southampton's appeal comes from the way its history and modern luxury exist side by side. Along the central village streets, small boutiques and restaurants occupy buildings that maintain a classic coastal appearance. Even many of the newer properties have been designed to blend into that established character. As we continue driving, notice how much of Southampton remains concealed. Large homes often sit far back from the road, protected by tall hedges, gates, trees, and long private driveways. In the Hamptons, luxury does not always announce itself with bright signs or towering buildings. Sometimes, the biggest clue is how little you can see. The privacy is part of the landscape and part of the mystery that has made these streets so fascinating. As we leave Southampton's village center, the scenery begins to open. The transition happens gently. Boutiques disappear behind us, traffic becomes lighter, and the space between properties grows larger. This is one of the most interesting things about driving through the Hamptons. Its different communities aren't separated by dramatic skylines or obvious city boundaries. One village slowly becomes another. A polished shopping street can become a shaded residential road, and then only a few minutes later, the view opens onto fields and farm stands. The Hamptons may be internationally associated with wealth, but the land itself still reveals a quieter agricultural identity. We are now entering Watermill. Compared with Southampton's central shopping district, Watermill immediately feels more open and residential. Behind these trees and hedges are some remarkable properties, but the road remains peaceful and surprisingly unassuming. There are no high-rise hotels and very few large commercial buildings to interrupt the scenery. Instead, Watermill is defined by space, large lawns, winding entrances, old trees, and architecture that often borrows from the classic New England coastal style. Wood shingles, white trim, covered porches, and weathered textures appear throughout the Hamptons.
Together, they create a sense of elegance that feels relaxed rather than flashy. This is a place where even immense wealth is often designed to look quiet.
A little further east, we arrive in Bridgeampton. This area introduces another side of the Hamptons. Beyond the village center, the landscape opens into farmland, equestrian properties, vineyards, and long stretches of green. The contrast is striking. Only minutes away from multi-million-dollar estates, you can still find working farms and roadside stands selling locally grown produce. This connection to the land is an important part of the Hamptons' character. The region's image may be dominated by beaches, summer parties, and expensive houses, but agriculture shaped this landscape long before it became a world-famous retreat. Bridgeampton also has a strong connection to horse country. Fenced fields and immaculate equestrian properties give portions of the drive a peaceful, almost countryside atmosphere. If you didn't know how close we were to New York City, some of these roads could make you believe we were traveling through rural New England. For the next minute, let's slow the narration down and simply enjoy the road. Notice the changing light beneath the trees, the traditional architecture, and the brief glimpses beyond the hedges. This is what WANDERLANE is all about. Not only reaching a destination, but noticing everything along the way. No prompt received. If you could spend a weekend anywhere along this drive, would you choose Southampton, Bridgeampton, East Hampton, or Montauk? Tell us in the comments. I'd love to know which one matches your style. We're now approaching East Hampton, another name recognized around the world. The village has a carefully preserved appearance, with expansive trees, traditional homes, low stone walls, green spaces, and classic shingled buildings. Despite its glamorous reputation, East Hampton doesn't feel like a dense luxury district. Its beauty comes from restraint. Buildings remain relatively low, signs are modest, landscaping softens nearly everything, and many of the grandest properties are almost completely hidden. The village's historic structures and windmills also remind us that this community existed long before the modern celebrity era. East Hampton has become a retreat for wealthy and well-known visitors, but from the road, it often feels calm, historic, and surprisingly small. This is the reality that photographs of giant oceanfront mansions sometimes miss. The Hamptons are not simply a row of enormous houses. They are living communities with schools, local businesses, churches, farms, historic landmarks, and residents who remain here long after the summer crowds have gone. As we continue east, the landscape will gradually become less polished, more open, and increasingly coastal. Welcome to Amagansett. This community has a quieter and casual personality than some of the villages we've already passed. Its small center offers shops and local gathering places, but everything remains compact and relaxed. The name Amagansett comes from the indigenous Montauk language and is commonly associated with a place of good water. As we move beyond the village, commercial activity begins to disappear again. The road stretches forward, bordered by trees, sandy soil, natural vegetation, and occasional openings toward the coast. The feeling of the drive is changing. Southampton felt established and refined. Bridgeampton introduced farmland. East Hampton blended history with discreet luxury. Amagansett begins the transition toward something wilder. We are now crossing Napeague, the narrow stretch of land connecting the Hamptons with Montauk. This is one of the most visually distinctive parts of the journey. The dense hedges and carefully landscaped properties begin to fall away. The sky appears larger, the vegetation becomes lower, and the coastal environment feels much closer. Napeague Bay lies to the north, while the Atlantic Ocean is beyond the dunes to the south. For a few miles, the South Fork becomes remarkably narrow, placing this road between two very different bodies of water. After passing through villages where nearly every detail appeared controlled and manicured, this open landscape feels refreshing. The road seems to breathe. At last, we have arrived in Montauk. Often called the End, Montauk occupies the easternmost end of Long Island. It shares the ocean scenery and expensive real estate associated with the Hamptons, but its personality feels different. Montauk has long been connected to fishing, surfing, boating, and outdoor life. It feels more rugged and exposed to the Atlantic, less like a carefully hidden retreat, and more like a town shaped by the sea. Our final destination is Montauk Point, where the historic lighthouse stands above the coastline. Construction of the Montauk Point Lighthouse was authorized during the presidency of George Washington and completed in 1796. It was the first lighthouse built in New York State and remains one of the oldest working lighthouses in the United States. For generations, its light has guided ships approaching Long Island and New York Harbor. Today, it marks a fitting end to our drive. the place where the road runs out and the Atlantic takes over. From the historic streets of Southampton to the open landscape of Napeague and the rugged coastline of Montauk, this drive revealed how many different worlds exist within the Hamptons. It is luxurious, but also historic, exclusive, yet surrounded by open countryside, internationally famous, but often peaceful when experienced from the road. Thank you for joining WANDERLANE Travel on this scenic journey through the Hamptons. If you enjoyed the drive, subscribe and come along as we explore more beautiful roads, fascinating neighborhoods, and unforgettable destinations. Until the next journey, keep exploring and enjoy the road ahead.